Friday. But as far as the comp plan goes, it seems like it's, having this identified on there is really just a way for us to take advantage of developments as they come along.
So Brian,
I'm not trying to be negative on it. I look at this and I think it'd be great. It's a big lift to get there. And incorporating a bike lane on, say, a Spring Valley Road, that's millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I'm not trying to be negative about it, just from a pragmatic standpoint, heavy lift to get there.
what about, since bridges are getting redone over Darby, why can't we focus on the Morpsey future plan from West Jeff to Darby Creek, that connect?
That's fine. I mean,
because that would be the easy piece over all the rest of it.
yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Because we already confirmed they're going to put a one-use path along on those bridges.
I think we just, whose focus is that going to be? You know what I mean? So that's something we'll have to figure out.
And this is collaboration to the different departments, just
Right.
like that. Your comp plan just give you an idea of what the future hopefully might develop. But like I said, funds may not be there or something like that, but at least we have something.
Right.
Hoping this guidance through.
I want my department to be as helpful as it can to the park board and to our assets, but our primary focus still has to be roads and bridges and keeping them in good condition and maintained. So for us to be, leading the charge, so to speak, really, it's not that I don't agree with the effort. It just means that I'm not putting forth effort on my core,
Your priorities.
my core responsibilities. That's what I gotta be. That's what I gotta be doing. So open to keeping the conversation going, and we'll help where we can and figure out what that looks like.
And then number 4, install trailside amenities. Again, maybe that is something that could be part of a open space policy or green space policy. We describe what is desired amenities. So it might be a no-brainer, but at least having a policy that says if you're next to a trail, you make an improvement towards it or something to that effect. But right now, how it works, we have few trailheads. We have Prairie Grass Trailhead, and Roberts Grass Trailhead actually is under London's jurisdiction, even though we kind of share maintenance. And then we have Wilson Road. So those are our trail side right now that we operate. If we want to open up new ones, I guess, I'm not sure how you would look for new opportunities until there's a new trail. Implement on-road bicycle facilities. I'm not sure what number 5 means. Six, encourage and promote trail use. We definitely have a great team of volunteers that do that. Strategically upgrade sidewalks and trails. I'm not sure that our trails go through any existing communities that need to do that. So I sometimes think what's in here is a great list. I just don't know that all of them applies to our situation. Initiate discussion with private property owners. Ooh, now that one, if I had a park board that's interested in that, because I'm really bad at cold calling people and saying, hey, I noticed you have this beautiful piece of property next to the Derby. We sure would love to blah, blah, blah. Coordinate planning efforts. and market the county to horse riders. Now that one took me by surprise. So we don't get too many horse people at our meetings, but maybe because we don't have any trails for horse people. Anyone know about this suggested strategy?
Well, I know in Georgia, which is pretty much like here, there's a lot of country areas, and they have where they can get grants to do trails, and they actually have forced a contractor to build the trails within the subdivision that they're building. It's just part of the thing, they get some kind of credit for it. So that might be something we can talk about in the departments and see how we go by it. Or something like that.
The Greenway study speaks to equestrian trails as well. So maybe that's where it came from, not entirely sure, but you know, for various different things, equestrian is certainly a possibility.
You know, I think I might have seen a draft of the Greenway study a long time ago, but I'm not sure if I ever saw the final copy. Is that on the website or is that deleted?
I don't believe so. I can send you a copy and maybe that's something we throw up on planning's website. Of course, that was dependent on a few different projects that didn't come to fruition, so.
I don't know that it needs to be on the website, but if I could get emailed a copy, then we can maybe look at the Greenways plan next meeting, just to kind of be aware of what's inside of it and see if that's something. I just don't want to miss an opportunity to have a conversation if I don't keep looking at this, right? Because, oh yeah, we have this, so, you know, when we talk to Canaan Township or Jefferson Township or Darby Township, there's a trail that's proposed that they aren't aware of. I mean, we can say, hey, here's something that's been identified as an opportunity. Keep this in mind as you talk to people that are developing in your community.
Yeah, a lot of that hinged on moving the fairgrounds, the state fairgrounds out to Madison County. And with that would be the Quarter Horse Congress and all the other horse people.
So that's where that.
So that's where, yeah, there was like, okay, well, if we, you know, if we plan for this and so on, that strengthens our cause more or less. So since that project didn't happen, I don't know if there's much desire for that moving forward.
So I guess really what I brought up this 10 points is really I would love to come up with just a list of 3 strategies that we want to work on and focus on. Like I don't really actually want us to work on all 10 of these things because we get very few people. But I think the open space is something that's very timely right now. And I don't know if there's any other policies or strategies that you personally prefer or liked or think should be prioritized, or we can talk about it more next time when we look at the Greenway study. But I would love ultimately for the park board to say, here's our top 3 strategies that we think we should work on and we can make that our focus.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I think the 10 is just too unwieldy. To that point, in the actions and policies, there's 18 actions and policies spanning many pages, right, of the document. Some of these, I have no idea what they refer to. I don't know if anything's been done with them. So how do we tackle this? I mean, it's not something that we can do just in this park board meeting, right? So what do we do to address some of the, I mean, we're going to be updating the plan, right? So do we have separate meetings? Are we able to do that? Do we have?
Yeah, this is more of just a convenience to have it during the commissioners' board.
So there's no reason we couldn't have
Yeah.
meetings to specifically address the comprehensive plan update and.
Yeah, it's really part of a large, broader conversation about the comp plan. So,
Yeah, I thought you were talking about park board. You can certainly have a park board.
It's related to that, right?
Right.
And we don't have to do it in the park board meeting, but it's.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull out the piece that I think pertains to this board, and I would love this board to come up with their top 3 strategies so we can focus on those. Because it was pages and they're great recommendations, but to do all of them at once, it's not realistic. And they're definitely all important. I wouldn't want to take out any of those strategies, but the reality is we can only focus on so much, in my opinion. I think one that we're doing already is number 6, we're going to encourage trails use. I would love one to be something new that we tackle. I think that's something we can.
Yeah, I think one is, I certainly, as I said on the phone when we spoke, I mean, I think looking at other counties' open space dedication policies, I think that's probably low hanging fruit, that we can look at surrounding counties, look at their open space policy dedication and try to maybe implement some of that, or at least learn from what other counties, surrounding counties have done. So I think 1 is certainly something that we can pursue. 6, I think we already pursue quite a bit. Then I think we do want to look at, as we do grow and develop, looking at having developers, having open space or, contributing to, whatever trail extension or trail amenities or that type of thing as well. So I mean, I think that can become part of our, development policy as we grow as a county.
Yeah, so I'd be interested in exploring more about what we can do about number 2. And I'd require developers to construct trails. I still don't know exactly what that means, what type of incentives, what type of, are there policies that already exist that we can just promote? I mean, what can we do around number 2?
I think you could take 2 and 7 and put them together, instead of putting the sidewalk down the road, they could put in a trail wider. It'd be multi-use and it really wouldn't cost much.
Yeah, and you've seen that in Plain City, right, with some of their housing development. I know
They
that.
used it in Brooks Edge.
Yeah, Brooks Edge as well. Yeah, I know there's a development, near the elementary school in Plain City. There's some open green space there and a trail that goes through that open space. I mean, that's nice, a very nice amenity that's frequently used in Plain City. So I think that can be a good template for us as well.
And I'll mention, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Brooks Edge, because that's where I live, and being a member now back on the association board, those multi-use trails are somewhat of a pain to maintain. So of course, it's always great when you put something in, but you always have to consider what's overhead going to be in maintaining things and who's going to pay for it. Here or there,
And
not being adversarial, but something.
Who's gonna respond to the drainage calls?
Yeah.
How do we, we got this asset in place, how do we manage it?
Yeah.
Those big lists.
Yeah, that certainly needs to be part of the conversation as well. Yeah, once you have all these assets, it's not cheap to maintain all of those assets.
Yeah. So does it come down to the HOA? Are they required to maintain it, at what specifications, what criteria, so forth, so on. So, personally, I like, as a homeowner or potential buyer, those assets. I think that's something that I would look for in a subdivision. So I'm not being adversarial.
But just like stormwater features, stormwater controls, how we manage that, how we maintain, all that devils in the details on all that continuing to function long term and fitting into the economics of the development.
Yeah, so I think this is a good opening conversation. I think those conversations can certainly continue, and as we look to update the comp plan, we can work on, identifying, as you said, maybe 3 strategies that we can engage in, because we have put together good plans, and, there is now, how do we implement those plans? And I think that's where we struggled now is implementing those plans, and also, once those assets are in place, who is going to pay for that? So I think there does need to be some, concerted effort on how we achieve those goals that we've outlined in our plan. I think that has probably been lacking. Gentlemen, anything else for the good of the order? Anything else for the good of the order? Right, Park District meeting is adjourned, and we'll resume normal session. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Dennis, the floor is yours, sir.
Yes, good morning, everyone. First, well, the only case is the zoning case, PZ 2024-06, Michael Wessa, care of Panther Transportation Logistics, and requesting a zoning change for a parcel of 05-00270, currently zone A1 to be zone C2. And the parcel will be combined to a parcel of 05-00270.001, which is the 4200 US 40 West Jefferson, Ohio. Panther went through all the boards. The last one is the rural zoning commissioners, and they have recommended approval and combining the two lots and rezoning the parcel numbers from A1 to C2. They all agreed upon it. Motion was carried. It's all unanimous.
When you say all the boards, you mean, so the Board of Zoning,
It went from everyone from subdivision review all the way up.
okay,
So I went through every board that had to go through.
all right, so the appeals is not included, there's a denial, there's an appeal, right? The Board of Zoning appeals, they don't come into play unless there's.
Well, yeah, because board of zoning appeals is when they change the zoning. They had to get a variance for some stuff, so they had to go through them too for other stuff.
Okay, so
So
they
went
were
through
included
every
in that,
board.
okay. Sorry, I'm learning that, I'm still learning the process.
BZA's, they hear variance requests and conditional uses.
But they will come back again with their plans, which they already gave us some architecturals and stuff like that. So they will come through again and we will review everything from their landscapes, stormwater, whatever else they propose. And so we get a second crack at it, actually looking at what they're going to do. This is just combining and rezoning the two properties, which the corner lot is already C2. You know, and I know people talking about spot zoning, but that C2 was there long before all of us. So there's other C2s that surround it too. So it just makes perfect sense just to change that A1 to C2 and have them combine it for them to do their development.
Makes sense. Any other questions for Dennis? We can
Move to approve.
Second?
got a first and a second. Is there any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. Right, we're a little early for open session, but anybody, anything for the record? Brent, anything, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Brent Henthorn. Noticed that we got a big front page article in the Madison Messenger about our up and coming meeting. And we don't know how it happened. Do you guys know how it happened?
Not too
You've
bad.
made enough noise. Go.
So I was curious to find out, anybody know how it happened? I appreciate it. And it's right here, right? The Messenger?
Yeah.
Yes.
They-
It's still there.
Yeah, their offices are here in town, yeah.
They closed it.
Their offices here are closed, they're overall.
Yeah, they closed it,
I
yeah.
don't think they're.
And those messengers just in toolboxes, right?
Used to be in the corner. it was closed.
I don't know where to get them anymore.
Yeah, you
Used to get them
don't.
in the-
I still receive them in the mail.
Oh, you receive it in the mail? Huh? Did you have to request to receive it, or you just kept getting it? No.
I think they probably focus on the municipalities. They don't, I used to get it now.
Look, you don't get it in Plain City anymore, I know that.
I mean, we had a reporter at the meetings on the regular for years and years and years. And COVID hit and we went virtual and no one came back.
Yeah, Christie was here every week.
Yeah.
So, Russ was here every week.
I think she retired now.
Yeah.
So,
So is that something that's gone away, or do we look at bringing that availability of that messenger back? Or-
So I had a conversation with Christie, I forget, 6, 7 months ago, 8 months ago. I asked her to come by and just kind of have a sit down, you know.
yeah, I've talked to her way back when as well, and
No interest.
no interest. And I, other than sending the occasional press release, which is very infrequent, and it's really as much interaction as we have.
I'm glad that the notice is there and people can see it.
They're focused on advertising.
I like a piece of paper in hand sometimes. I'm gonna jump in the gun, but, Brian, this kind of might be something for you. Sorry, I didn't grab you. Traffic study, on our area around that digester. We even thought about that, and is that something we look at doing in case the traffic does change? If this would go in.
So as part of any road use maintenance agreement, they would be required to submit any traffic study that we request.
Okay.
So they'll have to do that.
Okay.
As part of their access, as
Okay.
part of any agreement they have.
Fair enough. That'll work.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Sorry to stop you.
Oh, you're fine.
And then the one last thing that it's a pretty broad subject, but Nick, I think maybe you could, the frozen funds that everybody's talking about for green, biogas, all that stuff. Any insight on that? Is that an advantage, disadvantage, or a digester situation? Or?
Can't answer that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, it's hard to answer that when I don't know what programs the company is going to seek to take advantage of.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's right, it would be speculative.
Gotcha. It's quite confusing when you read down through everything that has been frozen and the reasoning behind it. That's more of what I was looking at is.
It's definitely a possibility. Yeah. Would be guesswork.
Just waiting still.
Absolutely. Anything else, sir?
A reminder, Thursday's meeting. Hope everybody can attend. Sounds like we're starting to get things pretty close and hope it's a good turnout. So that's 6:30 at the high school. I guess we had kind of a conversation about police presence at that facility, but I guess we mentioned that to the sheriff, and I don't know if anything got further than that, so I guess West Jeff is who I'd be contacting to make sure that's what it is. So I'll make sure of that.
Yeah, it's within the village.
Any update from anybody on the board about any information? Are we still the status quo?
Still in a holding pattern. I think we're just waiting for them to take some sort of action.
I'm sorry, one last thing. And I don't know if this is anything you guys know, but went to the township meeting last night, and Rob Howard had mentioned that he had heard from the Ohio Farm Bureau, and he had heard of the Farm Bureau sending out postcards in the mail about their neutral position on this. And anything of that as well.
The Farm Bureau likes to take neutral positions. That's what I would say to that.
Yeah.
The State Farm Bureau, that is. So yeah, that position does not surprise me.
I just didn't know what, maybe prompted that to happen.
And maybe their local membership was asking them. I mean, that's a possibility that the local Madison County membership had maybe approached the State Farm Bureau to take some sort of position. My guess is that's likely what occurred.
Okay, makes sense.
The local chapter probably reached out to the state, and the state put forward this position.
We have a pretty good relationship with Carolina, so we could probably pick his brain on that a little bit.
As a Farm Bureau member, I can say I wish they wouldn't spend money to send out postcards of neutrality. I don't think that's a good, that you're saying that Madison County residents receive postcards of neutrality on this issue?
Don't
I've
know.
not heard of anyone receiving
I
one,
didn't
but
get one.
that's bizarre.
And I question, Steve, well, within the conversation, Steve mentioned that it's really like this is out to the members, is what it's doing.
Oh, out to the members,
Again,
to do it to the general public or something.
Yeah, my guess is they probably just sent that to the membership.
Well, I didn't get one.
He didn't get one. I wonder if it was just a focused area, you know, a buffer around the site.
I'm very close.
And again, I asked Howard that same question, how was it, you know, set up? Was it zip code? What was the situation? He didn't have any details. He just kind of threw it out there, and I drilled on it a little bit, and he just wasn't giving me any more, so I'm trying to do a little research and find out where it came from, why he made that comment.
It's pretty easy to go into either the auditor's website or the engineer's website and grab addresses based on location in the GIS to generate a mailing list. So that's, you know, is it just adjoining properties? Was it half a mile out, a mile? I don't know. I'm pure speculation at this point, but.
That's all, this whole thing's been a speculation.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, I think I'm good at it. Everybody can attend on Thursday, and like to recognize, you know, the attendees from our 40 situations, so we'll be sure to do that.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
And Tony, everybody was thinking maybe you should get up and speak. You get it?
No. Let me put it this way, if something pops to mind, I will.
You did.
I have to watch what I say.
Did you talk to Chris about any of this?
We can both be, well, I assume you're gonna be there, Commissioner Wall, so I'm sure we'd both be happy to speak. And
Yeah, that's kind of what we thought, that, you know, you guys bounce things, but show the unity and collaboration and the effort, I think would be kind of focusing on the presentation side to make sure that not people rolling their eyes and going, come on, what are we doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good look.
Yep, that works.
Okay,
Very good.
that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Gentlemen at the back, did you have anything for the meeting?
No, I'm good, thank you.
No, nothing? Okay.
Thanks, I had it on the high desk.
Very good.
Good.
Right, anybody else have anything for the good of the order? Going once, going twice, meeting
we
adjourned.
are on until 10:30, is that a problem?
Yes, they're good. We're starting, just move gavel at the end of the open session, we're starting the open session. If nobody's here for the 18th, we usually just call it.
Thanks.